Hello and welcome everyone to another StarCraft 2 England cast. Today I have got another game from the Razor replay pack of the week. It is LiquidHerO. He is the star of this replay pack. Loads of games from him playing on the Korean ladder. He is playing as the blue Protoss player in the top right, and his opponent in this game is a red Zerg called CrazymoviNG. So we'll just call him Crazy because it's quicker. So Crazy, what can we expect out of him? Well, it's a ZV piece, so something like a 14-15 pool, just to be on the safe side to prevent any kind of cannons or anything crazy like that. And then we'll see him get his expansion down probably quite quickly, and then on to get a super quick third is most likely, especially as hero is definitely going for this fast expansion. This is really the proof the fast expansion is coming down, because let's face it, if the pylon's on the low ground, that's their only option. It does mean that you're a little bit vulnerable early on, but on Cloud Kingdom, this is quite a narrow choke. It's not too hard to wall off, and it'll be interesting just to see whether hero goes for the safer Forge first build, or if he goes for some really crazy economical build like a Nexus first. If you do go Nexus first, obviously you get better gains as a Protoss, but you're also exposed early on if the Zerg player does flood with Zerglings approaches, for example. Meanwhile, obviously, Crazy, he's got to work out how he's going to deal with that. I mean, the two options are essentially you can do a 2-base all-in, or you can take this third base. The third base timing against the fast expanding Protoss is between 4 and 5 minutes, depending on exactly what they do. Does get this natural hatch down, so actually going to be a hatch first build. That is really bold. The reason you don't see many Zerg players doing this is it's just so easy if the Protoss has gone for a cannon to Forge rather to get cannon rushed, and if this base goes down and you don't have Zerglings to deal with it, it can really put a downer on your day. But Crazy, he's like, well, he's crazy. He's like, nope, I'm gonna get that hatch first. It's fine. Nothing can possibly go wrong. So I really hope for his sake nothing does go wrong, because going for that hatch first is really brave. Anyway, we will see though hero who's taking the Nexus first. That's the right choice here. You saw your opponent went for a hatch first. He doesn't even have, only really just started his pull off, so why not? Just go Nexus first. They're not going to be able to do anything about it, and you're safe. You keep up economically, and you force the Zerg to take that third base really quick. I mean, essentially, Crazy, he's got to look to get that third base down in the next minute or so, and this probe is going over to the third base location, ready to deny it. May even see a pylon block go down. We will wait and see. Currently though, Gateway and Forge are down. There's still a bit of a gap there. It'll be interesting to see what fills it, but honestly, hero, he is fine. He's got no gas yet at all, so really just pumping out as many gateways and stuff as he can. We'll get his Zealot out first. And needs to start thinking about gas. There we go, just so he can get that warp gate research on its way. So what do we expect to see from hero on from this? Well, he's gone very economical. In some ways, I expect him to do a big kind of 2-base push, because this third base isn't super easy to hold. It is possible, but it can just be awkward, and I don't see why he'd put himself in that awkward type of situation when he could just 2-base very effectively, especially considering this third base is quite vulnerable for Zerg early on. And you'll already see that probe has managed to deny this third base for quite a while. I mean, 4 minutes 45, it's about 25 seconds later than Crazy would want it to be. Meanwhile, we've got the Cybercore on the way, 2 gas up, and the Nexus just finished now for moving. This one probe is there completing the wall off, but the cannon is down, but some Zerglings do get in, but obviously one Zergling goes down straight away. These other 2 Zerglings, they'll get good scouting information, maybe able to pick off this probe if they're careful, but to be honest, 2 Zerglings shouldn't do too much. If it is possible, but obviously with good probe control, the worst I'll do is delay a bit of mining time. I'm going for the probes in gas, which is the right choice. Doesn't manage to get one quite yet. Meanwhile, the Cybercore, it's just finished up. There's quite a lot of gas saved up, so a Stalker coming out first just to deal with those Zerglings ASAP, getting Chrono boosted out as well. And this is really the downside to going Nexus first, is you are at a little bit of risk of something like this occurring, which, while it doesn't do a huge amount of damage, obviously this is taking quite a lot of hero's attention. He's got to deal with it. You can't just ignore 2 Zerglings, although decimate your probes, but if you do try and deal with them as he is now, well, you lose mining time, so you're kind of caught between a rock and a hard place. The first Stalker, rather, is out, the first sentry on its way, so now that's how it's going to be fine. But actually, Crazy doing a great job. Killed 2 probes. 2 probes with 2 Zerglings is very nice. The third base just finished up for Crazy as well now. He's just got all, well, 2 of his gas actually. Surprised he hasn't got his 3rd and 4th gas as well quite yet, but that'll probably be used for Lair first. just so he can get up there pretty damn quick, but hasn't actually transferred any drones yet, which is very, very surprising. Hopefully we will see that shortly. And now this is a big tell. 3 gateways being added on here by Hero. That says I'm going to be doing a big push, or at least going to be putting on some pressure. He's not going to super techie, he's just got those gateways. The big tell will be if he adds any more. Anything from 5 to sort of 7 gates means you're going to be a big 2-base play. The Rotron on its way down at the moment here for Crazy. He's getting up a lot of gas. He still hasn't started his 3rd and 4th gas, which I find surprising. The spine coming down here is essential to defend this 3rd base because, well, there's a lot of opening paths. These sentries are there completing the wall off. +1 is on its way, and that is quite a tell. Well, if it's +1, it's going to be quite a big push anyway. But here comes down the Robo, and that signifies that, well, there could be some Immortals out, or maybe we're going to slightly lag, and that Stalker does get trapped out. You don't want to be losing a Stalker to slow Zerglings. I mean, if they've got speed, fair enough, but without speed, should never, ever, ever occur. So that was a bit of a slip up there by Crazy. Lair on its way out now at the natural for Crazy. Crazy, he's also got that Rotron down. He's getting up an Evo chamber somewhere. Where is that Evo chamber? There we go. Always get the Evo and Rotron at the same time. It is just defend you against everything. This Robo facility will be interesting to see what comes out of it. Judging by the fact there's only 4 gates, I'd imagine that really Hero's gearing up to expand, because at this stage of the game, if he was going for a super root push, he'd have more gateways out. This is getting a Observer out first. That's fine. The Overlord does go down with the hallucinated Phoenix. That again is a good choice. It gives you free scouting information, and essentially so far it does just look like Hero's going to do some kind of, well, secure his 3rd base. He's going to get out an Immortal most likely after this, and there is a small gap there. The probe is looking a bit weak, but a sentry getting warped in and everything's fine. The 3rd base happily up and running. If we look at the worker count, 65 to 59, so actually quite close, probably a little closer than Crazy would like it to be, especially now Hero is taking his 3rd base behind this. And well, that leaves the option of Crazy to take his 4th. That's essentially what he's got to do. He's getting up a macro hatch, good choice. He's getting up that +1 carapace. Surprised there isn't actually the 2nd Evo yet, but he's going for a Spire. That will be why. So we're going to see Muta play, which is very, very effective against Protoss. On Cloud Kingdom, again, it's debatable. There's not really much dead space around any of the bases, so that can cause a problem, but there is this Robo Bay coming down, so if nothing else, that Spire will be there ready for Corruptors, which are essential, and the inevitable Brood Lords after that. The game does go on that long. You know, 1 Immortal popped out that'll help tremendously with the Roaches, but neither of these players really looking as if they're trying to actually engage. They're both really happy. Let's tech up, let's get ourselves into a good position, let's just see what we can do. A hidden expansion coming down here from Crazy, the 4th base at the furthest possible distance that he can get from his own base, and that's actually a good choice. It just means that if the Protoss army goes down there to try and engage it, he's going to have problems. Downside, of course, though, is if it's scouted, it gets killed. It's basically that simple. Hero, he is moving forward, and actually there's not much army at all for Crazy. It's pretty much equal army supply, and what that essentially means is that it favours Hero. The Zerg player always needs more army, so 4 additional spines coming down here. A couple of spines just on the entrance to the naturals, just to really buy Crazy time. But Hero, he's already forced, well, 8 spines, I do believe it is. I think it was in total 8 spines, so that's 800 minerals, 8 lava, nothing to be scared of at all. Some Zerglings do manage to get into the natural base, though will get cleaned up before they manage to kill off any sentries, and a couple of probes taken out. If we actually look at the workers killed, it's 2 to 1. I mean, unit kills as well. This is really crazy. If we look at the loss tab, it's under 1,000 resources lost for each player at basically just before the 13-minute mark, and that's something you very rarely see. But Mutas are on the field now, and well, it all depends what he can do with these Mutas. If Crazy can do some good damage, Hero could be in some trouble. What's the Stalker count like? We've got 11 Stalkers, which isn't really enough to deal with 13, now 14 Mutalists. There's 4 more on the way as well, so this heavy Muta style is good. I really like the fact that since Crazy's going Muta, he's getting up a lot of spines. That's just to help him defend, because Mutas, they are not good in head-up engagements at all. So very, very good choice. We will see a Twilight, I Templar archives on the way out. Blink is being researched as well. We've got some photon cannons coming around everywhere, so to be honest, these mutas are getting shut down before they've even started. The 5th base coming down as well here for Crazy, so Crazy's expanding behind this, is getting map dominance. This is a really key principle. Everyone who is, no matter what race you play, if you're gaining map dominance with fast units or even just a bigger force, expand behind it. That way you have the economy to keep it going, but also you're denying your opponent's economy. Essentially you're doing everything right, and if you do lose an attack and they come in to kill a base, you've got time, you can sacrifice, you can say, okay, I've lost that base, but guess what, I've got another one spare. So great decision making here by Crazy. Everyone can learn something from that. This Colossi though is a bit badly rallied. Those photon cannons are getting taken down, and really if these Colossi are focused, that would be bad times for the Mutalist. They're just running around, there's stalkers everywhere. Great blink up there by Hero, and well, now there's a lot of stalkers engaging, not that many Mutalisks, and quite a few are getting taken down. Photon cannons getting in on it as well, and if we look, well, we're down to 20 Mutalisks. If we look at the lost tab, a lot of resources lost by Crazy recently, so that just really shows that you don't want to get mutas in head-on engagements. They are harassment units. You get in, you pick off some probes or key structures, you get out, and that is all you do with mutas. Meanwhile though, the Colossi numbers, they are getting higher. As they start getting really high, specifically around 4, roaches become kind of irrelevant. Crazy though, he is maxed out, 4th base on its way out by Hero, and essentially +2 flyer attack if that's what's coming. We've got more spines yet being added on. No sign of hive though. There's not even an infestation pit on the field. I think that would really be essential. Cancelled force down here, at least I believe it was cancelled. And again, Hero, he's trying to retake it, but what Crazy's doing is being absolutely dominant in his control of the map, saying, no, you can't take this base. If you do, I'm going to punish you somewhere else. And that is exactly what he's going to do. This is a large ball of Mutalisks, 28 to be precise, and 28 mutas can be crazy, but there are a lot of cannons at this natural base. The Stalkers are getting picked off though, and essentially those photon cannons, they're getting taken down really quickly. These are +1 mutas. They don't have +2 yet, and now those extra stalkers are coming in. I'm not sure Crazy's doing the right thing by continuing the engagement, especially as reinforcements are on their way, but it has pulled a lot of Hero's army back. For a second though, I thought those Zerglings were going to go into Colossi and High Templar, which would not be a good choice, to massive area damage dealers. But these Stalkers, they are looking to be a little bit pinned back, but good blink puts them back into the safety of their home. Those Zerglings can't engage at all. You don't want to be fighting with Zerglings in a choke there. They need the surrounds, and well, we've got yet more photon cannons on the way down, but they are getting cleaned up by the mutas, and so far, really Crazy. He feels a bit like he's just pushing up against the brick wall. He's scratching at it, he's getting a couple of bricks out, but as quickly as he is, he's not actually making much progress in terms of dealing damage, and he's staying consistently about 2,000 more resources lost behind, so he has been engaging slightly more cost effectively than before. However, Hero, he's looking to be moving across the map now. The one thing we haven't been seeing yet is, I still don't think there's an infestation pit down. There must be, because you can get hives, and there's also pathogen glands, so excuse my inability to look at the production tab, but I mean, Hero, he's got the tech advantage, because I mean, hive hasn't even started yet. We need hive down, it's getting very late, we need those Brewdogs. This 5th base, it's going down, but having said that, there's a Zergling counter attack coming in here, which will get cleaned up, but still does some damage to the Mutalist. They're picking off a couple of probes. The Stalkers get a good blink forward. A new 5th base being taken by Crazy up in the very top left. This is a good arrangement as a Zerg player. Get opposite sides of the map, you'll be safe from all of it. Meanwhile, these mutas, they're running back. They may try and get a couple of snipes on some Zealots or something, but a good storm comes down. And what we see here is 33 mutas, and this is not good for Crazy. He's fallen into a trap a lot of players do, which is, you know something's good, and then you overcommit to it. And that is exactly what he's done. He's overcommitted to Mutalisks, which aren't good head-on. They can't deal with this force in a straight-on engagement. They're taking up a lot of supply, they took a lot of resources, and now he's going to be a little bit stuck, because these mutas, I mean, to be honest, Hero, he's got so many photon cannons, he's got so many stalkers warping in, that he can keep doing damage, but what's stopping Hero from just going to kill him? And that's essentially what we see here. It's a small force that's being left back to pick off bases, and these mutas, they're having to run away very quickly. The storms go off, and to be honest, storms against big clumps of mutas just clean them up so quickly. The fleet beacon on its way for Hero, about to finish up any second, so we will see that mothership Again, essential in dealing with Broodlord Infestor late game. We'll get some Archons out of Hero as well soon, just to do that Archon Toiler, which is the only way to effectively deal with larger numbers of Broodlords with Infestor support. You know what, a lot of sentries getting picked up there. That's a good little win there for Crazy, who is 5 supply ahead at the moment. If we look at the work count, 77 to 79. That is really, really close. This base so heavily defended. The new 5th base is up and secure. 6th base is coming down in the left position, but that's only about a third done. Meanwhile, the Mutas seem to have given Hero a bit of a slip, but he is aware now of this base down in the bottom right, and this is going down. It would be crazy hard for Crazy to defend this. He is coming in with a lot of Zerglings, but with the Colossi there, with the fact there was a couple of Storms, that's not going to be fun. He should be able to clean up most of this, but those Stalkers are just demolishing Mutas, and you don't want to be doing that. Some great blink play. Even if this does get cleaned up, I can't help but feel Crazy has lost so much stuff. He was up with 33 Mutas, now down to 16. If we look at the loss tab, it came off a bit worse than he was before, so that's not great. Importantly though, for Crazy, he kept up this base. He's just finished up his 6th base as well, getting some more spines and spores up at the top left base here. Everything starting to level out. His hive is done. No sign of Greater Spire though, getting the +3 air attack. No sign of an Ultralisk Cavern either. +3 melee attack. Those adrenal glands upgrades coming as well. But Hero, the longer this game goes on, Hero gets in a better spot than Mothership. It's on the way. He's getting up a good count of Archons. Those Archons shred Mutas as well. This 6th base, that's going to get demolished. The upgrades, of course, for Hero are 2-2. He's getting +3 ground weapons as we speak. Meanwhile, some Zerglings, they're running around, they're doing anything and everything they can. And there's not really too many places they can come in because there's just so many cannons literally everywhere. But I mean, that's a free High Templar, which is always fun. Zerglings could actually run into the main and not have too much to deal with. The Mothership, it's on its way, and actually here do go the Zerglings. They're just going to run up straight into the main. Going to pick up the Cybercore. That is a great choice. It means no more Stalkers, which of course is a key part of Hero's army. And now that's down, well, you're stuck on Zealots and High Templar. These Mutas again going a head-on engagement into these Stalkers. These are +2 Mutalisk, +3 is about, well, 50 seconds away from completing, so we'll see if that goes down anytime soon. A lot of Zealots getting morphed in here to come and try and pick off this top left base. The bottom right base, well, that's just getting more spines added to it. We've got this base coming. Really, the count on bases on Crazy's side is going to be pretty hard to work out. He's on 3 mining bases, getting a 4th base out. He's got a 5th base off the top here, which is not going to last long. These Zealots just engaging it head on. The spines do finish up though. The 3 spines against that many Zealots is not going to be fun. If this hatchery goes down, that's going to spell big problems. It is, the Mutas do arrive, but they won't be able to clean out everything before it falls. Meanwhile though, we do have some Archon and Stalkers engaging Mutalisks. That's pretty much the best the Protoss can hope for. And, well, still some more Mutas are all clumping up. They do not want to get together. Archon splash damage to air quite heavily. If we look at the loss tab, this is starting to not look at all fun for Crazy. Although, having said that, the game is still pretty damn equal. I mean, the key difference is the Crazy is now on equal bases, or at least temporarily equal bases with Hero. He does have this 5th base down, but it's not mining yet. Still, what else do we have? We have that +3 ground armor on its way for Protoss. We really just only have... There's no Colossi on the field at all. There is that Mothership out. There's 5 Archons, so this is kind of like an Archon, Stalker, High Templar type army, and it's actually being really effective. It's countering this very well. Obviously, Colossi completely useless in this situation, as there are just so many Mutas. But in comes the Mothership. That's going to get a couple of free kills. Some more Stalkers getting walked in, but of course these are now +3 Mutas. That means they do an awful lot of damage, but still, it just feels like Crazy. He's biding his time trying to engage, and he hasn't started this Greater Spire. If he'd started this Greater Spire, say like 8 minutes ago, then he'd be in a great spot right now. He'd be getting his Broodlord force out. He'd be ready to deal with this army, but at the moment he's just still harassing with Mutas over and over again. I have no idea what's up with my mouse that made it just do that, but I do apologise. Those Stalkers, they are doing tremendous damage. +3 melee attack is finished, I do believe, for Crazy. So he's got 3-2 Zerglings with adrenal glands, but he's just about to lose his 5th base. This is really critical. That base was so important to Crazy, and as of right now, I would definitely put Hero ahead. But he is getting counterattacked really heavily by 3-1 Zerglings actually, but a good Vortex goes down the Mothership. That's gone unless it's very, very careful. It's trying to pull back but gets taken down. But again, Hero, he killed so many Mutalisks there. It wasn't even really very close. More Mutas are coming out, pretty much coming to their death. There's nowhere they can go, and Crazy GG's right there. So, I hope you did enjoy that game. Real good display from both players. I think Crazy's biggest problem was that he just didn't get that Great Aspire and Hive Tech out quickly enough to transition out, and maybe overcommitted to Mutas a little. If you did enjoy the game, please give it a thumbs up. That'd be super helpful for me. Leave any comments or criticisms below in the comment sections. Let me know what you thought of the game, the casting, blah 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 blah. And most importantly, well, not most, second to most important, if you did enjoy, please subscribe. I get games up daily. Wouldn't want to let you miss any of these awesomeness. They're always cool games from awesome players like this. And I mean, most importantly, I hope you did enjoy. And if you did, I hope to see you again. Bye for now.